We want to thank you for taking the time to view the latest update to the Reliability Solutions SAP PM Services Overview with a focus on our newest product, the RSI e-learning module for SAP Plant Maintenance. Over the past 12 years, RSI has evolved its product offering to adapt to the changing needs of our customers and their desire to make SAP PM an effective tool for equipment reliability improvement. When there exists an opportunity to optimize the setup of SAP PM to better emulate customer processes or just make SAP PM more user-friendly, RSI's experience in SAP PM configuration can provide insight and direction towards achieving both goals. When the customer desires to measure maintenance and SAP PM best practice performance, RSI can utilize a 99-point data-based assessment to measure opportunities and well-dones to plot and measure improvement. Some customers just want a helping hand, and in that case, RSI will come to your work site, work with your supervisors, planners, or craftsmen, and do on-the-job coaching on how SAP PM can function better on a daily basis. There are times when the depth and synergy of classroom training is the right fit for developing SAP PM skills needed, especially advanced topics like preventative maintenance application in SAP PM. RSI is the best there is at SAP PM classroom training. And when logistical challenges provide the need for rapid deployment of base-level SAP PM skills delivery, RSI is launching its new e-learning modules that are custom designed for each customer's SAP PM needs. The feedback that we receive is always valuable, but the two comments that we are most proud of is firstly that we teach SAP from a maintenance perspective, and RSI knows maintenance, and secondly, that we have the patience and energy to help anyone learn who wants to learn. Sometimes that means taking the time to get down to computer basics, and sometimes it means going to the job site, even if it's in the middle of the ocean and having to ride a basket to get to work, to help the students relate SAP PM to their day-to-day work. RSI is well qualified to teach SAP PM and always willing to go the extra mile to make it easier for the students. RSI has taught SAP PM for 11 years and well over 1,000 students, and never graded out less than 90% by our students.
Often the biggest barrier to SAP plant maintenance success is demanding that SAP mirror your company's maintenance processes in an effective and user-friendly way, as opposed to just accepting this is how SAP is set up. SAP is designed to be configurable to match your company's maintenance processes. RSI has that expertise and experience to help make SAP Plant Maintenance the tool that it needs to be effective for your company. As maintenance people, we have all been part of audits and assessments that basically interviewed people to verify what they are doing well and where there's opportunity to improve. RSI has a different take on assessments. What SAP PM provides now is a digital footprint of not only what the data is telling the customer, but indicates how SAP PM is functioning to lend credence to the validity of the data collected. Interviews are hearsay, data collection are facts. The three phases of the SAP PM assessment include the Quick Look assessment, which is a broad view of SAP PM and maintenance best practices. A preventative maintenance detailed assessment, which measures the SAP plant maintenance application and performance of the preventative maintenance processes. And the Bill of Materials assessment, which measures the bill of materials master data applicability to parts usage.
Sometimes there are just opportunities to help SAP PM users with their day-to-day work in the context of actually just doing their job. Just working side by side with someone that uses SAP PM can be the best avenue to share improvement ideas as tasks come up. While there always exists a challenge to make sure that the time is well used, RSI's ability to analyze SAP PM processes on the spot provides a unique and timely skills development opportunity. In these coaching sessions, many deliverables are possible, from setting up a reporting structure to simplify notifications and order processing, to establishing configuration opportunities that will make the processes better. Often it is RSI taking the methods that we learn during the coaching sessions and providing the students a detailed job aid of those processes so they can have a written record of what was learned. RSI is dedicated to making our classroom training the best learning environment for students by designing and delivering custom training specific to their business. Using color step-by-step instruction manuals with real-life examples for the specific customer. Teaching the keystrokes along with the importance of each entry field to give the user a better understanding of how the data is used to improve equipment reliability and make good business decisions. Having two instructor coaches doing the training allows each student to get collective as well as individual instruction in real time. Using two projector screens allows the students to see SAP PM live while working on classroom examples at the same time they see the training manual's step-by-step instructions displayed. This method keeps all information in front of the students and focused. Adding classroom real-life demonstrations ensures an accurate understanding of how SAP PM is used in their business. RSI adds skills demonstrations to verify each student can apply the skills they are learning in class, along with testing for knowledge and understanding of how SAP PM supports the maintenance and business goals. RSI prides itself in explaining much more than just the keystrokes of SAP PM. We need to ensure that every data entry choice in SAP PM is based on the knowledge and choices in enough detail that the information gathered from all these entries is accurate. The functionality of SAP PM is constant as the main operating system, regardless of the front end that is utilized. RSI has done training in many different avenues into SAP PM. Base SAP using the Session Manager, many different applications of GUI-XT, and even the virtual server application of SAP, SAAP.
The best training environment involves a classroom full of different student questions and ideas, along with competent teachers and coaches that can deal with different learning styles. The best learning experience involves the ability to adapt to any question or scenario that provides the students knowledge. But in today's environment, logistical barriers often do not allow that learning environment to happen. If those learning benefits can be incorporated in a digital learning environment, travel costs can be eliminated, the training can be at the pace of the student, the training can be immediately available to all students in a rapid deployment process, and the training information will be consistent to all students regardless of when the training is done. RSI e-learning has a great competitive advantage. Having taught SAP Plant Maintenance for 11 years in classroom environments and on the job floor, we can anticipate most of the questions that will arise in the training and incorporate that in the teaching proactively. Our goal is to deliver 80% of the classroom value while eliminating the logistical barriers that classroom training sometimes provide.
Our e-learning principles are to clearly understand the customer's SAP PM system configuration, application, and business goals in order to incorporate that into the e-learning training. We feel it's important to work hand in hand with the customer throughout the entire process to develop specific training that targets their particular needs. For example, using scenarios that focus on issues that happen in their work environment so that it is relatable. Having an overall understanding of how the final product will look is something RSI strives to provide to our customers by designing a PowerPoint storyboard of the module, which includes step-by-step screen prints and narration for the customer to review and give feedback for improvement. Our proven teaching methods are incorporated throughout the interactive e-learning module to engage all learning styles to produce a virtual classroom training atmosphere. RSI takes pride in designing the best e-learning product to meet the needs of both visual and auditory learners. We develop modules that incorporate the desires of those who want to learn everything about the module and those who just want to understand the keystrokes all in one. RSI values the need of organizations to have a product that is not only user-friendly but also cost-effective. The value of the e-learning product is so that it can be used by a large number of users and the application and communication is standard so that everyone is using it the same way every time. One way to validate that the training is being communicated in a way that is understood and applied correctly is by incorporating testing into the process. RSI can design testing into the e-learning, and once completed, will print a certificate with the username and testing score for your records.
We are all focused on the bottom line, which is minimizing equipment-related downtime through application of maintenance best practices. With this in mind, RSI offers SAP Plant Maintenance Training that aligns with all of the maintenance best practices listed here. One of the more meaningful feedbacks we receive from our students is that our expertise in maintenance and in maintenance best practices is of great value to the SAP Plant Maintenance Training. RSI's other competitive edge is designing the training to encompass the various learning styles of our students. As the old saying goes, there is a difference between knowing a subject well and being able to teach it well. RSI strives to do both. The key to effective education is understanding learning skills and desires. For those whose learning skills focuses on what is told to them, we take the time to carefully explain and detail our narration of the modules. For those with visual learning styles, we go to great effort to mirror the SAP plant maintenance processes taught in great detail. For those who want to view what success looks like before they learn how, we have videos that demonstrate the skill success. For those that learn by doing, repetition is encouraged and the table of contents allows for repeating steps as needed. Learning exits exist for those who really want depth in the subject matter. Those people are our future leaders, and we want to feed that thirst for detail and reason. And finally, testing is the best way to visualize and incentivize the student's learning success.
When designing our e-learning training, RSI uses an interactive table of contents that will 1. Display the duration of each slide, 2. Allow the user to go to the specific section in the training, and 3. When the user is actively working in the training, the table of contents will mark each slide the user has already viewed. To help with navigating through the e-learning, icons can be created and added to the bottom of the pages to include text and pictures that will represent the function. These icons are customizable along with backgrounds, fonts, color schemes, etc., and a company logo can be added as well. There are some people who learn first by seeing the complete process to get a better understanding of what is in front of them. To help with this learning style, RSI can include within the training a demonstration video that will show the process from beginning to end and allow for general knowledge of the method and the time it takes to complete. The training mode is designed to lead the user through an interactive step-by-step exercise in the SAP PM process. The process mimics the live SAP PM system to give the user a feeling of actually working in the real system. Repetition is the key to success, and RSI are firm believers that practice makes perfect. So we have built into the e-learning training the ability to go straight to the step-by-step instruction and skip the overview section.
One of the more prevalent barriers to SAP PM user-friendliness and data quality is not clearly understanding exactly what each of the choices mean when the user has to choose between several options in SAP. The more detailed learning exits alleviate that confusion, especially for students new to SAP PM, by explaining in detail what those selection choices mean, as well as how to find those definitions in SAP should they be needed. Every field in SAP PM has a purpose, and when telling students how to properly enter the data, it is helpful to explain how the field is being used. In the learning exit example, picking the correct equipment when creating a notification is important to accurate cost and opportunity allocation in next year's improvement planning process. Every student will perform better if they know the end result of them taking the time to enter good data. For example, because the users took the time to enter the equipment assignments correctly, equipment performance can be measured by equipment type. In this case, it seems pretty evident that pumps are the equipment type that need the most improvement, and proper bearing lubrication is the best way to achieve that improvement.
This is where our experience pays off for the users. We understand where most users make mistakes and can build those into the training to help minimize the frustration that is felt by the user when navigating SAP PM. In this common mistakes exit example, we show how the equipment master record is displayed when the user double-clicks on the equipment number in the IH01 transaction, and then how to get back to the IH01 screen. In addition to common mistakes, RSI feels there is a real value in helping to make SAP PM more user-friendly with sharing some tips and tricks that will help save keystrokes or ease navigation issues. In this tips and tricks exit example, we show the user how the color scheme and icons are different in the IH01 transaction based on what portion of the technical object structure you are looking for.
Training success is not measured by good delivery by the instructors. It is measured by the student retaining what was taught. Within the e-learning module, a test for knowledge can be included to test the student for what knowledge they retained from the training, as well as adding some accountability to the training process. Questions can be true-false, single selection, multiple selection, identifying visual cues, or fill in the blank. Test questions can also be weighted and scored if desired. Once all the answers are submitted, the student will see their test score. The student at that point will have the option of reviewing any of the questions, or even taking the test again if desired. If the test is passed, the student will have a certificate of course completion displayed that can be forwarded to the training department.
In Phase 1 of development, RSI will establish an understanding of the customer's SAP PM business processes by becoming a super user in the client's SAP PM application. RSI has worked with a lot of different configurations of SAP PM and takes pride in being able to quickly understand and become proficient in different customer applications. RSI will also work on mapping out and documenting each of the processes clearly in order to develop the modules. In Phase 2, RSI will work with the customer to determine the actual product deliverable. What software format is best for the product to be created? HTML5, which can reside on the local server and be used and internet's not needed, Windows executable file, PDF, DVD, etc. What screen resolution would show up best for the end product? Will it be displayed mostly on a desktop screen, laptop, etc.? What color scheme, background, logos, font styles, icon design, etc. are needed or desired by the customer? Will testing be included to ensure understanding of the training, and will certificates of completion be something that will need to be included, and what those will consist of? Is there a desire to include learning mode application and learning exits into the training? If so, where would be the best place to add those throughout the training? Once the overall scope is determined, RSI will develop a project cost estimate and deliver to the customer. Remote access to the customer's SAP PM system is preferred in order to save travel costs. Once the customer has accepted the proposal, RSI moves into Phase 3 and begins designing the e-learning module. RSI will design the e-learning module in a storyboard format which includes step-by-step instruction, screenshots of SAP PM, the PowerPoints for any learning exits, and narration. Once the storyboard is complete, it is sent to the customer and a web meeting is set up to review with the customer for acceptance or improvements. Once the approval of the design is made, RSI will develop the interactive e-learning module and any feedback from the customer is built into the product. Phase 4 begins with the final review of the interactive e-learning product with the customer. This is the opportunity for the customer to add any additional feedback to be incorporated into the final product. Once that feedback is built into the interactive e-learning module, a final product is delivered and ready for the customer's end users. Testing is conducted by the end users and feedback is collected and incorporated.
While SAP PM is comprised of many of the same basic structures such as notifications, orders, and confirmations, each of these structures contain many fields of data, and each customer uses their own unique selection of fields and field choices and interpretations. Since RSI delivers custom-developed training that exactly matches the customer application, the first step is for RSI to become well-versed in the customer system. RSI is highly skilled at adapting to differing SAP PM applications, but clear understanding of the customer's design criteria is needed for training accuracy. If remote SAP PM access is allowed, along with detailed SAP PM design and training documentation, the scoping process is free. But if the documentation is not complete or remote access is not available, small fees may be incurred. Once the module is designed, developed, and delivered, the customer has 3 payment approaches, but in all cases the software becomes the property of the customer. Option 1 is to pay the majority of the module cost at delivery and spread the balance over a 2-year period. The 2-year period is in place to partner with RSI to continuously be in contact with the training module improvement process over time. While RSI will never charge for corrections to the original scope, over time SAP PM growth will occur with new functionality, so RSI includes 2 hours of design upgrades per month over the life of the agreement, and that is cumulative. So over a 24-month period, that would be 48 design hours. The pricing also includes a scaling factor per SAP Plant Maintenance user. Option 2 involves spreading the cost more evenly over a 2-year period for those wishing to avoid the initial outlay of the development cost. Option 3 would involve a one-time transaction fee at module delivery and does not include the partnership provisions, but does include the initial product performance warranty for 2 years.
We would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. To see more information regarding our product offerings, visit our website by clicking on the link www.rsi4sap.com. Also, to participate in our interactive e-learning product, please click on the link www.rsi4sap.com/view a demo.